do even better. I said, how are we feeling? All right, guys, it is my absolute pleasure to bring out the cast of the Funbearables podcast. Please welcome to the stage Ray Harrington, Chuck Staten, and Brad Rohr, everybody. Let them hear it. Come on, come on, come on. Keep it going.
Thank you, J.B. James. I appreciate it. Hi, everybody. Hi. My name's Ray Harrington.
I'm Chuck Staten.
My name is President Abraham Lincoln.
Oh,
That's not his name.
Right.
Okay.
We gotta talk about that then, I guess.
Yeah, so welcome to Funbearable's Winter Funderland show. Thank you guys for coming very much. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is very appreciated. When we do live shows, we often do them based around a holiday, like Christmas or Halloween. I like that.
Right.
And so we thought maybe we'd do one in the winter that covers kind of all of the winter holidays.
Sure, I'm like, there are other people that do Valentine's shows or Groundhog show, but this right here is the only President's Day show. Where my president head's at?
No, still too many people clapped. That's what I would feel about that. So this is unsettling. So real quick, how many people here listen to or have listened to the podcast Funbearable? All right, thank you very much. I want to say thank you to the people that clapped. I want to say sorry to the people that have not clapped. So normally it's a fun time.
Sorry, this beard is killing me. Does it look okay? Does it look like I'm an authentic?
That's what Brad said in his last relationship.
I do have
a beard is usually when somebody is in the closet, they have a fake relationship with a person of the opposite sex.
It was killing me.
Quick question. Seriously, just let's make it serious. Who in here has no idea what the fuck they're in for tonight? Seriously, who came out on a whim just because they're like, I saw a flyer and I came for some reason? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
You guys deserve a round of applause more than anybody else because you're putting a lot of trust in people you don't know.
That trust is already broken. Right when I walked out tonight. Right up. It's over my mouth.
Lord.
Why is it so small? I don't know.
I want to be clear. That's something Brad's beard said. I want to be clear. Never before have any of us dressed as a president for Funbearable of any kind.
Yeah.
And I really am. I don't know what this is for.
Not for Funbearable.
Just for fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of thought we were just doing an all-around winter show, and I don't think we're going to be really focusing on President's Day or anything like that, so don't worry about that. That's not going to be the theme of the show tonight.
Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, tax returns are at some point coming in.
That's true. A lot of them, a lot of holidays.
Groundhog
Day.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, President's Day, I think we can all agree we've gotten our fill of President's Day. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, give it up for Brad. Thank you very much. That's enough President's Day. Done with that.
Hold on, there's a table sitting over here that has no idea what we're talking about.
This is what I look like. I spent $38 of my own money to look like this.
Wow. That is $37 too much.
Oh, I'm aware. By the way, it came in without the beard, and I'm like, how could you sell an Abraham Lincoln costume without the beard?
You with that fucking gray real beard poking out.
It makes it look like you are a person who refuses to wear a mask properly.
That's how I feel. For those of you who don't know us, we thought we'd do a little get to know you.
Yes.
Up the top of the show here, so you have an idea of what we're doing. So
That's great. That's a good idea.
Those are the questions for the three of us to answer. It's nice and easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Beards riding up.
Already worried given your first surprise.
No, we're all good. Question 1, where are you from? Very easy. Very easy.
Originally from Maine, I now live in Rhode Island.
There you go.
That's good.
I think I heard somebody make a sound from Maine.
I couldn't tell if it was a positive or a ha. I heard a ha. Ha. That's not real. That's a province in Canada.
I am from Rhode Island. I was born in Providence, so I'm kind of a Rhode Island boy. I'm a homeboy here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't say I'm a homeboy here.
Well, they know what I mean by that from the way I look and act.
I'm from the Midwest. I was actually born in Kentucky in a log cabin, 10 stories.
No. He is from the Midwest, so that's why I was like, oh, okay. Fuck.
Question 2. What is your favorite hobby? How do you spend your leisure time?
I play guitar. I like to play guitar, and I just do that for myself.
Good. Very nice.
My answer is a little boring, but I do like to play video games on occasion. I think it's fun to relax with them.
That's true. I think my favorite hobby of all the ones I do is freeing the slaves.
Okay, hold on. That's not... Okay.
Question. What is...
So, hold on.
Yep.
That was not a hobby. Abraham Lincoln wasn't like, you know what I'm going to do? Just as a side hustle.
It's the gig economy of 1865.
Because it's so stressful to be president. What can I do in my free time?
I know what'll make it really easy for myself.
Question 3.
Okay.
Nice and easy for all three of us. What is your favorite type of hat?
Pass.
Do a real one.
Yeah, do a real one.
How many civil wars have you started and ended? You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
And my answer is, give me time.
Do you have any real questions in there?
Of course, of course.
Okay. Give us a real one.
Which monument of yourself is your favorite?
You know what? Can I take this over?
Yeah, oh, sure. I know you have a few.
I have an idea
Okay.
that you will not manipulate. In 2024, what is your employment?
Okay, that works. I am a full-time stand-up comedian, and when things are going well, yeah, it's a job.
I am a full-time filmmaker. I live half here in Rhode Island and half in New York, and that's where I make my living.
I deserve this for all my Lincoln shenanigans because they know I'm embarrassed. Currently unemployed. I thought it would be so easy for me to find another job after leaving my last one. Has not proved to be the case. It has been a struggle. I'm still doing all right, I guess, financially, but all in all, it's been really tough, and it feels like this is such a weird way to start the show, but I guess context is important.
Sure.
Yes.
The reason I am unemployed is because I was shot in the back of the head by that rascal John Wilkes Booth. Unemployed for lo these many years.
So there will be no refunds at the door. Just want to be clear here at the beginning of the show.
Also, I don't know if anybody else caught it. You said that rascal, John Wilkes Booth.
How would you describe John Wilkes Booth, Ray?
An assassin of the president? A real rascal, right?
But from my point of view, rascal.
I guess depending on the president, one person's assassin is another person's hero, I guess. Really splitting the room right now. I didn't say which one. I'm thinking of one.
Folks, we have some great stand-up comedians for you tonight as well.
We are going to have a lot of fun. No more President's Day stuff, but we are going to do a lot of fun, different type of stuff. Get ready for a real variety of types of comedy, and I think we're going to get
a name for that.
I think we're going to get it started though with one of our favorite stand-up comics. He's here tonight, and man, it's going to be a great show. Give it up for yourselves for coming out, especially if you had no idea what you're getting yourself into. Ray?
And your first comic coming to the stage is a wonderful comedian. He has opened one of our live shows before, our Christmas live show. He performs all over New England, and he's one of our favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, James Firth.
Guys, please welcome back to the stage Ray Harrington and Chuck Staten.
James Firth, everybody. So funny. We have a little bit of a different thing here. So Brad was just changing out of his ridiculous costume, and he is going to kind of lead us in the St. Patrick's Day segment.
Yeah, we're not sure what it is, but he said it's going to be great.
I'm a little worried already, but yeah, let's bring him out. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Rohr. Oh no.
Guys, I wasn't completely honest about the tone of this segment.
Oh no, are we about to see that? Are we about to see your failed audition for Hamilton?
You look like a fucking lunatic.
which also didn't come with this costume, was supposed to be pulled back more. And I'm like, I don't have time to comb a wig. So I look like this.
I have to be fully honest with you.
Yes.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. Like, you look better. I felt the same thing. You with hair, it worked. Like, I trust you more.
Yeah.
I want to introduce you to more people.
Yeah.
I don't know, something to think about.
He comes off as a mad scientist with some crazy ideas, and I like that.
A mad scientist I'd fuck.
Even the ponytail works.
It's gonna be tomorrow. I'm just driving around in a wig.
Oh no, this is where it all starts.
Yes.
All right, so you're at least going to do a St. Patrick's Day thing.
Yes, of course. Except not at all. Craig, we're going to have to switch to the one I emailed you and told you not to tell them about. I know a lot of you came to the Comedy Connection expecting comedy. What you're going to get instead is a dry recitation of presidential trivia throughout the years. Craig, can we bring up that?
If you guys want to move now, you totally can. It's fine.
Hold on to your butts. Here comes some fun facts. Craig in the booth. You know what? Give it up for Craig in the booth. Working hard. Craig, can we go to the next slide, Craig?
Right.
I have the. Here we go. So what we're going to do is go through all 46 presidents, who they were as a person, what big policies that.
No, if you do this, I don't want to do this. Look,
I know.
Chuck has been your longtime friend.
Yeah.
I'm your short-time acquaintance.
Yes.
And I want you to know this. If you go forward with this, I promise you, you will not like what happens.
I worked so hard on the research for all of these presidents, including vice presidents. I have a joke right here about James Buchanan that I love.
Listen,
The only bachelor president.
Brad, you know how... Who here takes Ambien? Does anyone take Ambien here to go to sleep?
Just me.
You know how sometimes you've taken Ambien and then you wake up and some things in your house are a little weird?
Yes, seems like an odd time to bring it up, but yes.
Well, like he'll text us and he'll be on Ambien, and we understand this is Ambien, Brad, that we're texting with. This is very real. It's not a dumb little thing.
I'm going to say this. We don't want this, and if you continue, what we show is something that you're not going to want to see up there.
You know what? Show it. Show it.
You know what, Craig? Why don't you play the next video?
Craig, how could you betray me like this? That's me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
Yeah, so you remember when Chuck took you to lunch the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to your house.
Yep.
And I put in some cameras.
And we have answers as to what happens when you take your fucking Ambien that I keep telling you not to take.
Do you know that you sleepwalk?
I do now.
Yeah.
This is.
I'll be honest with you, a lot of the footage that we did enjoy the most, we're not going to show tonight because there's logs.
No water in that cup. It's confusing. It was dark.
This is real, by the way.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, this part I did not expect.
God, I hope nothing is. All right. I'm just turning on the TV. This is okay, you know.
Okay?
When do you?
That's a little preview.
When do you watch Dawson's Creek?
That is a preview of how this is going to go if you keep trying to push this thing.
Craig, bring up that favorite colors slide again.
Oh, no.
Harry Truman, unknown.
Oh, no.
Dwight Eisenhower, unknown. John F. Kennedy, brown. Lyndon B. Johnson,
Okay, all right.
unknown.
All right. Craig, play the next one.
Yeah.
It just seems like I was teaching a lot of people a lot about. Look, we all love hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's too many hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's.
What do you do?
Yeah. More hot dogs. You have a problem.
It seems like I have two
Yeah.
thumbs.
I don't know if that's dirty or if that's clean.
It was dirty.
I do like that you're productive.
Thank you.
Yeah. More hot dogs. Yeah.
Who bakes hot dogs?
You.
Andy and Brad.
Yeah.
Don't you notice how many hot...
All right, well, there I'm just shredding. That's awesome.
It's killing it!
What's up in the cupboard?
That's a cupboard.
Yeah. No refrigeration or cooking. It's a cupboard. More dogs.
All right, I lost in a game of chess to my cat. That's good. Oh, a final
I don't know why
bun.
you're showing the butt. And you bow. You bow to show the butt.
Second.
This is not good, Brad.
That's too many dogs.
Not good, Brad.
It's too many dogs.
Hold on. We have to be very quiet.
Who said that?
Who said that?
All right. No more presidential trivia.
Okay.
Thank God.
Thank you.
Cross the line.
Thank you.
Craig, can you go to that alternate slide?
We beat him.
All right, so vice presidential trivia.
Oh, no.
Spiro Agnew's dad owned a restaurant.
Fuck you.
That's not even trivia!
Craig, play the next video and make sure the audio is turned up, please, my friend.
No, I don't care that they're losing. 5,000 on them to come back in the second half. Nope, 10,000. Are you talking to me? Who are you gonna call? No, I don't care how much I owe. All right, then all 33,000 on them to win in the second half. And the whole game. I'm Batman. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. You're a wizard, Harry. Do you feel lucky? Chuck. I'll break your kneecaps. No, if you don't watch it, I'm going to say something about your ethnicity. Okay, what are you? Okay, what are you guys known for? No, everybody likes that.
Where did I get a gun?
That's what I wanted to know.
Listen, I know you're thinking like this is just a fun goof because he wants to do insane presidential trivia and we're gonna one-up him with our fun little goofs where we caught him doing embarrassing things. Sure. Also, we're very worried.
Did I win that $33,000 bet?
You're unemployed. Why are you making so many bets?
Craig, give me one more fact.
No!
One more fact, that's all I want. Just one important. James K. Polk had surgery to remove urinary bladder stones when he was 16. It's important, we all know that.
Craig, hit him with the next one. I didn't want to do this, but go ahead, Craig, do it.
All right, you caught me with a midnight snack.
No, keep watching.
Yeah, keep watching.
Where am I going?
I was very upset by this.
Yeah.
I work for DoorDash?
When you're high on Ambien.
I drove to deliver.
No, you didn't. What? You just walk to all of these places. It's insane.
We filmed you for 6 hours.
You do this like 4 nights a week.
Why don't I have any money? I must have lost that bet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have to pay off your gambling
Craig, one more, Craig, one more. All right, presidents and pop culture. Where did they intersect? In this 40-minute essay,
I did not think it was going to go this far, and I didn't want to do this, and I feel bad because this next one is not funny. It's actually sad. But Craig, play the next one and turn that volume up, please. I couldn't believe this.
Well, we've all heard of the classic superheroes like Batman, Superman, or Spider-Man, but
You can call me Night Brad.
Tonight, you'll meet him. He's a local hero walking the streets doing his best to keep the peace.
My proudest moment was probably the time I stopped that one guy from publicly masturbating. If I finish him off, it's not technically masturbating. I'll do anything to keep the streets clean. Ouch! Oh! No one knows about my secret identity. Not even Brad Rohr, who is my secret identity. Violence is never the answer, unless the question is crime. That doesn't make sense, but you get it. No, let me try again. Violence is never the answer, unless the question is crime? I slap, I kick, I punch. I slap, I kick again. Claw, claw. Slap, slap. Fake cry, fake cry, fake cry. Surprise slap! I fight crime at night. There's all kinds of crimes happening. Public urination, public defecation, public masturbation, and murder. I hate all of them equally. Oh, bad idea. When you see me, you say, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nope, it's just another concerned citizen stopping public masturbators by any means necessary.
One of these days, he is going to be killed, and you are applauding.
That explains a lot of bruises and a lot of times that I woke up not at home.
Does it also explain how many public masturbators go, oh, hey, Brett?
It does seem to be your focus.
It really is.
You know,
like, we tracked you a couple of nights when you weren't door dashing and you were hitting up your usual spots, rest areas, truck stops.
It's weird. When Chuck was on that cruise a few weeks ago, no counts of public masturbation. That's it. I solemnly swear I will stop taking Ambien.
Wait, hold on. Ambient number 2. Number 1, stop with the presidential trivia.
Okay.
Honestly, you can keep doing Ambient because you don't even charge for the DoorDash shit, and I've been using that quite a bit.
Well, folks, we have another stand-up comedian coming up next. His special is available to watch online. He is in charge of the Rogue Island Comedy Festival every year, and he would want you to know that the only president born on the 4th of July was Calvin Coolidge. Please put those paws together for Doug Key!
We are going to keep the show going. Are you guys ready for the final thing? We're going to do a final thing. It's the final thing. I don't like that you checked with me. You're like, is it? Then it's done. I don't like this president shit. Neither do I. But I'm very excited about this. I've been looking forward to this part for some time. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So to get us started here, I am going to bring up the other 2 co-hosts of this podcast I do called Funbearable. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Staten and Brad Rohr. Did you hear this guy's sick of the president shit?
Look at his fucking face.
Oh, no. Wow, finally, you look healthy. What is this? I don't even want... No, don't fucking take a picture. No. I am not associated with this. I feel the way you feel right now, covering your face.
And I say, please take 1 million pictures.
Here's the thing, guys. President's Day is about all the presidents. No matter how legitimate their election was, what we feel about them politically or personally, whether or not they tried to destroy democracy. President's Day is for all the presidents. I feel like...
Oh, so what you're saying is all presidents matter? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like my face can't breathe because of the makeup.
I can't wait for you to go through some sort of fucking fast food drive-through after this show.
I'm gonna get Frosty thrown right at my face.
No,
and I'm gonna deserve it.
It's gonna be somebody at the Wendy's drive-through going, yeah, he's back again?
Frankly, I'll take 4 Diet Cokes. It's just so much makeup. It hurts. My face hurts. If I close my eyes, I don't know if they're gonna open again. How do women do this?
I just love, I want to see you in your house being like, which 3 presidents? Abe Lincoln, George Washington, of course, and he's looking at all the pictures and he's sliding his
And then he
finger.
sees his snow globe collection. And he's like, oh yes, President Trump.
Would you guys have preferred I come as Obama?
With your level of commitment to the bit, no. So we have a closing segment that is going to be a little out there, but I'm very excited for it.
I'm super excited for this. This is what I woke up this morning for. Don't tell my son. We're gonna set this up a little bit because this next part that's gonna happen.
Yes.
We didn't tell anybody. It's not on the flyer. It reminds you that it's live, right? Because
Yeah.
in such a world where we watch so much shit on our phones, it's nice to see some fumbling bullshit right in front of you. And then if you want to put the stool over to the other side. So the presidents are attempting to happen, but it's not.
No.
Because we want to recognize probably the most known holiday of this time. And we're going to do a Valentine's Day thing.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the very basic concept of a dating game show? We're gonna do a dating game show
Oh yeah.
live. Sir, settle down. You look positively distraught.
I think it's the wig. I'm so sorry. It was
You
not-
could have come as Biden and not dressed up.
Or affected your personality. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna call up a close friend of ours. You guys have met him before. We love this guy, and we just told him 5 minutes ago that he's gonna be forced to be part of this thing. Give it up for Doug Key.
All right, so doesn't he look like Trump if he actually had the money that Trump actually has in his bank account?
That's hurtful.
All right, welcome to the Funbearable dating game. Make some noise for yourselves for joining us this evening. Happy Black History Month as well, huh? Yeah. I feel like I had to shoehorn in that segment right there. All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. No one asked for it, no one wanted it, but here we are. Welcome to the first ever Funbearable dating game. I am your host, Doug Key. It feels mean to have someone so physically fit and sexually desirable to all genders on all spectrums be the host of the dating game with such dismal contestants.
Hey, he looks hot, but he can't fucking read.
I can't read. Who says dismal casually? All right. Whatever. Okay, they say beauty is only skin deep, so we're gonna find out how deep we really need to go to find it in these 3 guys. But before we get started, I would like to point out that this dating game is all for fun, and the prize may not be what you expect. And I'm not just talking about all 3 men having a shocking amount of skin tags. Not even a joke. That's probably true, but okay. So you see, here's the deal with this. Ray is a married man, but it's 2024. You know, what if there's swingers here tonight? Anybody? Okay, well,
Doug,
yeah.
what the fuck does that mean? Is that in vows? Are you going to say that in your vows when you get married?
Yeah.
I promise to treasure you and shit, but also listen, it's the current year it is.
You gotta just go with it. So Ray is married. Chuck has a significant other. I didn't know that until today. Could be.
Neither does the significant other.
And Brad is the only bear, the only fun bear here who is completely single. So.
Wait, why did we need to write completely in there?
Yeah, it does say completely. It's actually underlined and italicized as well.
It's highlighted like your fucking face.
I'll also say this, like they couldn't figure out I was single from the first 2 segments.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a contestant come up and ask her questions to our 3 hideous suitors. Okay. And at the end, she'll choose the person that she would most likely want to date up. You guys have all seen a dating game before. But if she chooses Brad, she wins a date with Brad.
Hooray.
But if she chooses Chuck or Ray, she'll win a mystery prize that will be revealed at the end of the game.
Because we're off the table. We're off the table. And
Yeah.
also, the nice lady that's a part of this cannot pick Doug.
Yeah, no.
Up front.
I have a baby back there, and
But it is 2024.
it's 2024. So if anybody wants to babysit my child while I fuck my girlfriend, that would be fun. The mystery prize is, it could be whatever. It could be
Almost like it's a mystery.
a mystery. It could be a used skin tag remover for one of these guys. So our contestant, you should treat this game like she's just choosing the person she would most likely to date. So yes, the choices are deplorable, but don't look at it as you don't get to go on a date with one of them. Look at it as you don't have to go on a date with two of them. Okay. All right. So this is where I'm gonna ask for a volunteer. It's 2024. You can be single or not single. So any ladies up here? Any ladies want to volunteer? Just keep your hand up so I can see. It's very bright.
Oh, we have a hand up. We have
hand
one lone hand up.
We have one lone hand up, so you win. You win. Come on up here.
on up.
Here. How you doing? Welcome. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Marguerite. Keep it going for Marguerite, everybody. All right. Nice pants. All right. Denim snakeskin. All right.
I'm a
Gentlemen.
big fan of your pizza. Yeah, absolutely.
Marguerite, yes. Okay, so where are you from, Marguerite? Long Island. Okay. So what do you do for work, Marguerite?
I am at school at RISD.
Oh, fancy. What do you guys?
Very nice. I love someone who furthers their education.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm against it because I'm dressed as Trump.
And one of you will be taking on her immense credit card or student loan debt. So that's something else. No debt? I went to CCRI, so fuck you, Marguerite. All right, so we have 10 classic dating game questions to help you decide which fun bear is too hot, which is too cold, and which is just right. This is awful. Now, in true Funbearable fashion, Ray, Chuck, and Brad have been so thoughtful to each other and have gone ahead and written the answers for each other. So Brad and Chuck wrote Ray's answers, and Ray and Brad wrote Chuck's answers, and Chuck and Ray wrote Brad's answers. Because who knows? Someone more honestly than a podcast host. That's these guys. So expect 100% accuracy, I'm sure. They've all sworn not to read ahead and to read the answers out loud no matter what, right?
Yes, and to
Honor
be
system.
clear, whatever I read for my answer was written by these two. I don't know what it is, like that kind of deal. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. And then it's almost like it's a comedy show. You know what I mean?
Doug, before we get into questions, I think we all have little intros that we wrote.
Oh yeah, okay.
We can do that.
It's that silly game show thing of like, oh, tell everybody about yourself, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Ray and I wrote an intro for Brad that I think really lets the audience know who Brad is inside.
Awesome. Hello, ma'am. Sorry to bother you. You guys nailed it right there. You could have stopped. My name is Brad Rohr, but you can call me whatever you want. Some things about me. I grew up in Germany a long time ago. Spent some time in Argentina for a while until things blew over. Then I moved to the Midwest and finally here for a job, and not at all because someone figured out my past when I was hiding in an Amish commune. I like fantasy literature, history, and being a normal age like any regular American person. Pick me and we'll paint the town beige, baby.
Now, I will say, Ray, before you read the intro that Brad and I wrote for you,
Yeah.
we're friends no matter what.
Already worried. Here we go. Nice to meet you. I'm Ray Harrington. I'm married, so this is just fun for me. It's no big deal. I'm not desperately hoping you pick me, so I have the slightest hint of approval from another woman. Not whatsoever. So let's get my red flags out of the way, okay, Marguerite? 1, I'm jealous of people taller than me. Fuck you, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 2,
Black History Month?
yeah, I would fuck him on any month, pal. 2, yes, my name was on the list of people who flew to Epstein's Island. But I was only there as a stand-up comedian. It was a corporate gig and I needed the money, I swear. And finally, number 3. Okay, I did a lot of bad stuff on Epstein's Island. If I'm ever found dead, it was not a suicide. It was that pack of sexy little orphans finally getting their revenge. And frankly, I deserve it. Anyway, please pick me. I'm a catch.
Good job, buddy. All right.
And Chuck, before you read yours, I just want you to know, I hope it hurts.
Hello, my name is Chuck, and it looks like this lucky duck just met her golden goose. And ladies, this goose lays. I've always thought winning a date with me should be a prize, so I'm pumped to be here. Some things about me. I like retro video games, the Ninja Turtles, and books with pictures in them. I'm like if Danny DeVito starred in Big. And ladies, I get big. Whoop whoop, raise the roof.
I didn't write that.
And those are our 3 Funbear contestants, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this shit show started, huh? All right, so here's your first question. You can just ask them, and they're going to all read the answers that their other friends wrote for each other.
What's your idea of a perfect first date?
It's a great question, Marguerite. I would pick you up at your place at 3:30 p.m. You know, dinner time. And I hope you got your sleep last night because we're staying out late. We're talking 10 or even 10:30. I would drive, obviously, on account of you being a woman. We'd be listening to a sexy playlist of the sultriest John Philip Sousa marches. Then it's over to the finest table at Friendly's, and you know we're getting that happy ending sundae. I usually get them free because the clown in the ice cream looks like me. After that, it's off to the bowling alley. Not to bowl, of course, not with my spine issues. Just to, you know, catch the vibes of a bowling alley at 7:15 on a Tuesday. And finally, I'm taking you back to my place where I will read you some erotica I've written. I hope you like slash fiction about horny presidents. And then some light petting, second base at maximum, and I will provide fare for public transportation home. Then for me, confession.
You guys couldn't see, but it was like size 5 font on that index card. It was a lot of words.
All right, Ray.
Perfect first date. Listen, kitten, let's stop beating around the bush. We're talking dinner. We're talking oysters as an appetizer. I'd get some sort of pineapple juice to drink.
That's a cum joke.
Thanks, interpreter dog.
Just some people might not know the pineapple thing.
And maybe I could give you a back rub in the back seat of my car. So many winks. Oh God, I can't stop winking. I think this is a stroke. Please call for help. Everything smells like maple syrup.
Good answer, Ray.
I think that's diabetes. I think it's burnt toast is a stroke, but that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
fair. That's fair.
All right.
All right, perfect date, Chuck.
Are you okay? Let's see. The perfect first date location starts with the perfect date partner, and that's me. We start our evening at the dollar store. I'll take you to my favorite one and spoil you with whatever you want at a $10 limit. Then back to my place to watch as many YouTube videos featuring me or my work that you want to watch. That's foreplay for our final destination of the night, Pound Town. Population U. I've had this perfect first date many times. Usually not a second date, though.
Good answer. Thank you.
All right, well.
That's one.
Margaret, I forgot to ask you, who did you come here tonight with?
My husband.
I guess he's over there, he's having the time of his life. And what's your name, buddy? Matt, all right, good sport. It's 2024, man, you know, so.
Thank you.
All right, so this is your second. And by the way, feel free to interject. You can rip this out of my hands and interject. But here's your second question. All right, mind you, that was just the first question.
Gentlemen, what are the 3 most important things you look for in a partner?
Brad?
Solid question. If we're being honest, a good soul is of the utmost importance. Then, a fat ass and weird tits. You know, like one of them has a wild, lazy eye, you don't know which one to look at. I like bazoongas that you don't know where they're going. Now I'm sounding like Trump.
Frankly, he likes bazookas.
Right?
Oh, man. The 3 most important things you look for in a partner. Number 1, a willingness to blindly agree with me when it comes to movies and also other topics of conversation. This number 2, this may sound bad, but I'm just being honest, a broken soul. I love a wounded baby bird. Number 3, a discount code for my all-time favorite restaurant, Applebee's. If the discount is above 25%, then you just earned yourself a back rub in the backseat of my car.
That's pretty good.
What's that?
What type of car do you drive?
I drive a Subaru because I'm a lesbian. What's that?
So you like cake?
I love cake. Look at me.
All right, Chuck, what are the 3 most important things you look for in a partner?
3 things. Personality, intelligence, a kind and good person. These are things I don't give a shit about. What matters most to me is support. It's important in any relationship, so I always look for someone who is supportive of me. Be my second biggest fan. My first biggest is me. Also, you've obviously got to be hot, or at least like someone who could charge for it. And finally, trust. I have to know you can keep a secret about other people's business, or personal life, or genitalia, no matter what Pokemon it looks like.
All right, are you starting to like narrow it down already after question 2? All right, good. All right.
Thank you. Number 3, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Well, Marguerite, my biggest pet peeve, the thing that drives me crazy, those people that are always insisting that you escaped an Amish community 55 years ago because of a murder you witnessed on your 30th birthday. They're the worst. They're always all, you changed your name and moved from the Midwest in hopes that the church elders wouldn't find you, and you spend your life looking over your shoulder and wondering when this life you've built will come crashing down when you hear the clip-clop of your lies catching up to you. All right, we get it. You saw that Unsolved Mysteries episode.
That's a good pace. We got to remember that pace if we want to get through all of them. My biggest pet peeve? The phrase one size fits all. That was a really good joke. I'm upset by that. I challenge you to find pool floaties that can accommodate these pythons.
It was a misdirect. All right. My biggest pet peeve.
Okay. You gotta go fast. You gotta go fast.
Judging by how I treat Brad and Ray, it would have to be anything my friends say or do that isn't a direct compliment of me. In a relationship, though, quitting is a big pet peeve of mine. I hate when someone doesn't follow through or commit or bails on things too fast. People who say stop. You know, people who use the safe word too soon. People who are suddenly scared and just want to leave. Save the drama for your mama, ladies. Big raise to roof to the audience.
All right, you guys have way too much fucking time on your hands to write all this shit. All right, question number 4.
Oh, no, you're not. You're hypothetically meeting my parents for the first time. How do you impress them?
Excellent question, Marguerite.
I wipe half of the makeup off my face between questions. Oh, interesting. When did your parents graduate? Maybe I went to school with them. We could talk about a lot of shared interests, like how things ain't like they used to be. We could watch Fox News together, and I would get all the host names right. Or maybe we could share tips on how to deal with a sore hip. I'm praying for relief. That's true.
I can't wait for Ray to read his answer. That's all I'm gonna say.
Marguerite, the way I would impress your parents, since I'm a comic, it's really easy for me to connect with people and get them on my side with my sense of humor. Plus, I have so many styles of humor to choose from. The list is endless. It's endless.
You gotta read it, right? You gotta read it.
I can do race jokes, jokes about people's ethnicities, humor based on nationality. The list goes on and on. P.S. If your parents are white, they'll love me. If your parents aren't white, I'll just meet you at the restaurant.
You're sick, Ray. All right. I'm meeting your parents for the first time. How do I impress them? I treat a partner's parents like I would treat anyone else. I'd simply tell them at length about my accomplishments from about high school to now. And then go through any recent compliments I've received online. Show them the screenshots and everything. But then I want to get to know them. What are they into? Are they into me? Do they like podcasts or video versions of podcasts? Have they heard of Mark Normand or Walt Flanagan? Do they like backyard wrestling videos? What do they think of my jacket on a scale of 10 to 11? How does my hair look tonight? You know, I'm sorry, I forget what the question was.
Oh, all right. Ooh, good. I almost would have rather there had been no clapping at all.
All right, now I know you feel like you don't have enough information to choose, but we're gonna keep going, so.
If your kisses were an ice cream flavor, what would it be?
3/4 of the makeup wiped off my face. My kisses would be orange sherbet, because it isn't what you were expecting, and old folks love it. I had a different answer, but I looked it up, and tepid tap water isn't an ice cream flavor.
If my kisses were an ice cream flavor, oh, listen, kitten, you just lucked out with this hombre. You're getting triple scoops when you're smooching with the Ray, man. The flavors are as follows: gingivitis gelato, cookies and cold sores, and chunky monkey who has halitosis.
All right. If my kisses were an ice cream flavor, that's really tough. I guess I'd have to say Rocky Road, because there's a lot going on and there's some hard bits to it. And they usually lead to a dead end. No, Neapolitan, because I only kiss... Neapolitan, because I only kiss whites, and I'm down for the pink and the stink. That's the chocolate.
Question 6.
You all remember that we didn't write our own, right?
Man, when I thought about doing this segment, I was like, it's gonna be so fun to get one over on those other guys. It'll be a lot of fun. And now I'm sitting here, and it's like we're just beating ourselves up.
Hey guys, if you had to describe your lovemaking, what pizza topping would it be?
Marguerite, you know how some people use a napkin to blot extra grease off a slice of pizza? My lovemaking would be the napkin. A complete absence of flavor that actually removes something from the experience. Also, it can be held with 2 fingers.
I'm back to happy. This is great. What pizza topping would my lovemaking be? Oh, Marguerite, well, please, I don't want to act like I'm above this question, but I don't think of my lovemaking as a pizza topping. That's gross. It's more like an order of chicken wonton tacos from Applebee's, where appetizers are half price after 10 p.m. Oh, or maybe the brew pub loaded waffle fries. I love those too. Wait, no, I've got it. My lovemaking is like the neighborhood nachos and with beef because you expect something exciting and satisfying, but you end up with something soggy, bland, and upsettingly salty. Also, because when you're finished, you feel like somebody should be apologizing.
If my lovemaking was a pizza topping, it would be pineapple. It's sweet, but doesn't belong here, and the only people who like it are lunatics.
All right, and also come. But that was a callback to the last time.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Gentlemen, if you were a holiday, which one would you be and why?
Please, please, please. My Brad will stop all the public masturbators. Obviously, President's Day. Yes. Because A, it doesn't get the respect it deserves, and B, you have to ignore a lot of problematic history to enjoy it.
If I was a holiday, I would have to say I'd be May 16th, because it's Tucker Carlson's birthday, and that's my dog.
If I were a holiday, I would be a holiday we all love. My birthday. That way, everyone could enjoy me even more. It's funny. When I look at all the sadness in the world, I can't help but think, I don't get to experience Chuck's birthday outside of myself. I don't know the joy of giving Chuck a gift or singing happy birthday to me. So it would be my birthday, and then everyone could share in my gift of me with me, for me, to me, as me.
That's what he says when he orgasms.
I can't believe there's only 3 questions left.
3 questions left.
Oh my God, we've come so far.
Where's the craziest place you've ever made whoopee?
I like how you asked that like you walked into your own house and the 3 of us were sitting on your couch.
You asked that question like it slapped you in the face.
The back of a horse buggy the night of the big barn dance in 1945. Afterward, I saw a murder.
Oh, that's a fun callback. Craziest place I ever made whoopee. I think it was in my sweatpants during my bachelor party. That's the craziest place I've ever made whoopsie.
Like that one. I did like that one.
It's funny because he thought that whoopee was cum and not sex. So that's
You and your cum facts.
I'm just tallying all the cum references that are in these.
He's the cum-terpreter.
I would watch that movie in a second.
It would only
Denzel
take you a
Washington.
second.
All right. Craziest place I ever made whoopee. I once masturbated on stage during a concert my band was playing.
This is true.
This is true. But it was because I was mad at the crowd.
Also true.
They had the nerve to say woo when I asked if anyone was having a good time, and I got so mad I went to town on myself. Unrelated, is anyone here tonight having a good time? Let me hear you say woo. Note to Chuck, don't read this part out loud. This is a joke. Don't actually masturbate when people cheer. They don't know any better, and you sign that oath the judge made you recite to the court. But again, do not read this part out loud. Oh.
That's like the creepiest Gallagher act ever, huh? All right, question 9.
I want a man who knows what he likes.
Fuck you. I'm just gonna say it. I thought Ray was gonna be on my side. All right.
What really revs you up in the bedroom?
What really revs me up in the bedroom? Well, I like a woman who knows what she wants, and what she wants ain't me. Slap me, punch me, spit on me, squash me like the little bug I am. I'm just gonna get harder. I put the old in cuckold. I've never heard that before. That's very funny. I put the bald in old bald guy who loves to be cuckolded. I dare you to try to humiliate me. What doesn't kill me makes me come.
That wasn't me this time.
I like a woman who orders me around. Like, Ray, you have to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. Or, Ray, don't eat your crayons, just draw. Or, Ray, for the love of God, I didn't even take off my shirt. Tell me you didn't make another whoopsie.
All right, what revs me up? Okay, this is a little risque, but I like a little role play from time to time. So I have an old Halloween costume of Guy Fieri that I made some adjustments to. The bleach tips are gone and I've added glasses to it. I've also added a gray jeans and blue patterned shirt. That's for them, and then I'll wear whatever.
It was him.
Yeah, his friends think he's cocky.
Yeah, he looks like a toned-down Guy Fieri.
All right, two left. Well, one left, right?
Here we go. Final question.
Final question, and then we can all go home.
What would the title of your sex tape be?
What would the title of our sex tape be? Okay, go ahead, Brad.
Wow, I've given this a lot of thought. The name of my sex tape would be The One Scene in the Movie Signs When the Alien Walks Through the Birthday Party. That is a specific title. I'm sad that it's only one scene long.
Accurate. Marguerite, boy, I really want to thank you for not knowing what you were getting yourself into. But you've been a really good sport. Before I read whatever the hell is on this card, I wanted to say that. Thank you, Marguerite. Now, my sex tape would be called Boys Don't Cry Too. This boy cries.
All right, the title of my sex tape. Chuck Staten presents Getting Chucked. A Chuck Staten joint starring Chuck Staten and featuring Chuck Staten's partner, based on the novel Chuck by Sapphire.
All right, well, that's it, everybody. That's our question. So, now, Marguerite.
Jesus Christ.
Now that you've got to know our contestants for better or for worse, it's time to find out which fun bear gets the pot of honey. Gross. Brad wrote that. Again, this is all for funsies. No one is going on a date, which is lucky for you, truthfully. Okay, ask about the volunteers' thoughts about... Okay, I'm not supposed to read that. Okay, what do you think about the contestants?
Words could not describe.
I agree. You took those words right out of my mouth.
Listen, we're all here for a good cause, okay?
So really take the time to think about it. Okay, there we go. Will it be contestant number 1? Brad. Contestant number 2? Ray. Contestant number 3? You know his names. So does he. Chuck, everybody.
Yeah,
can we all do like a drum roll? Can you everyone ready? No, you can't phone a friend right now.
This isn't Price is Right. You can't be like...
Get a lifeline. I will pick Fred.
Safest and the most dangerous choice.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You won't be going on a date, and the answers were all terrible and not genuine. So we've really accomplished nothing here on the Funbearable dating game. But rest assured, the winner will definitely still manage to hold this over the other two's heads forever.
Yes.
A round of applause for all of our lovely volunteer right here.
Give it up for Marguerite.
Marguerite! You dodged a bullet.
Thank you so much. Wonderful.
And let's hear it for our Funbearable contestants, these guys. I'm Doug Key reminding you to spay and neuter your pets because they don't know how condoms work. Good night, thank you.
All right, Doug Key, everybody.
Give it up for Doug Key.
Folks, we want to say thank you so much for coming out, especially those of you who had no idea what you were getting in for.
I'd like to let the audience in on a little secret. So at the beginning, we said there was a mystery prize if the person picked myself or Ray.
Oh yeah, what was that?
So if they picked Brad, they got a date with Brad.
Good choice, Marguerite.
If they picked us, they got the mystery prize, which was a date with Brad.
And what I think is so insane is Marguerite went, it's Brad, right? And that was all fun, and everybody cheered, and we had a good time. And now we're wrapping up the show. We're ending so everyone can leave. But we're all going to miss out on the funniest moment of this entire show. And that will happen someday down the line when Marguerite receives a knock at the door at 3:30 p.m. Still in Trump costume.
It is weird to have hair, but I prefer the Washington hair.
Yeah, that suited you more.
Yeah.
Although that one naturally kind of matches the rest of your facial hair.
He was putting on the makeup backstage, and he's like, "Is this enough?" And I'm like, "No." And it started turning his eyebrows bright orange and his beard, and I'm like, he doesn't notice this at all.
Nope.
And I'm just putting my foot on the gas.
I think my right eye has an infection from foundation right now. Again, I don't know how people do this. But seriously, thank you all so much for coming out to support live comedy.
Very fun time. Thank you, guys.
If you get a chance, check out the podcast Funbearable, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, Funbearable.
And one more time for your comedians tonight, James Firth, Doug Key, and Marguerite.
Yes.
And Marguerite and Craig in the booth working hard. Give it up for Craig. Now, tonight has been a fun journey, and it is something that I promise you've never seen before. Whether that or not that's a good thing or a bad thing is up to you to determine on the drive home.
A lot of presidents.
I know, you ultimately won.
Yeah,
I really think so.
What a night for old Brad Bones.
Wow.
Tomorrow, when I'm still unemployed and still single, I can reflect back on this.
All right. I love you, buddy. Brad, I love you. Great job. Again, thanks for everybody for supporting weird live comedy. Have a great night. We're Funbearable.
Take care. Thanks so much. Thank you very much.
That was our live show recorded at the Comedy Connection in beautiful East Providence, Rhode Island on February 25th, 2024. I legitimately didn't remember what year it was, but I got there.
Yeah.
Thank you all for sticking around for a little chat about the show. The behind the scenes, we are going to pull the curtain back.
Wow. We always do.
We always do.
You should do like the regular intro though, like you know who you are, who I am,
Sure.
who Chuck is, and stuff.
Sure. As you may have seen in the video that you just watched, I'm Brad Rohr, a.k.a. President Abraham Lincoln, a.k.a. President George Washington, a.k.a. one other guy. I don't remember who he was. I am joined in this episode by...
Ray Herring. Hold on, let me back it up again. Ready?
Good.
Oh, hi. I'm Ray Harrington.
And I also wanted to spin my chair. I'm Chuck Staten. I don't know why, though. Why we do that?
You can't just let somebody have their thing. Ooh, that looks fun. I want to do it too.
That's exactly how I felt. I was like, I want to do a silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The live show, it's funny because I wanted to talk about it a little bit because this is technically the second Funbearable live show, I think. We did one in Jersey.
That's right, yeah.
At Smod Castle, but that wasn't
That was
so
more
much.
specific. 'Cause
It was more specific.
It was a Bradley drawn.
It was a Bradley drawn, and we had already written it a long time ago with Brian O'Halloran from Clerks.
Yeah.
Playing himself, so it wasn't really something that we could play with that much. But we did a live podcast at the George in Providence for Christmas, the first year that we were in a podcast, and that was super fun. And that was a little bit more like just a podcast with some segment ideas. This one was really the first episode, like live thing that we did, all three of us, where we were all planning. Really, what it is like almost like a live sketch show, right?
Sure.
And Brad and I basically had started doing shows like this a long time ago, maybe like 8 years ago. I'm
I
not
think
sure
so.
when. And Ray became part of them. I think you were part of the first one. I think Ray was part of every single one besides one.
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah, yeah.
only one that you missed because you had a date already that day.
Yeah. I had a hot date.
Had a hot date.
No, it was and whenever I was involved, it was never in the writing or creation process of it.
Right.
It was always like, just trust us. You come up, we got a thing for you, and then I got to play along with it.
Yeah, we
right?
trust
That was
you
it.
to yes and what we're doing.
Yeah. And a lot of times also like, because we always do like, we'll do like basically 2 or 3 segments on the show, and we have stand up. So, Ray was originally, you were like a comic on the shows to come do time. And then we started coming up with the idea of pulling you into the bits. And I got to say, one of my favorite things that I really do think we should find a way to release it is the time that we pulled you on stage and we had written Chuck and Brad's A Christmas Carol.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Ray had no idea at all. And we pulled him on stage, and Brad and I played Scrooge and Bob Cratchit.
Yep.
And Ray played all of the ghosts in
Yep.
it. And the way that he expressed that was that we had costumes set up, mostly like hats and stuff. And I kept switching them on you to play it. And
You know what the reviews said? Faboo.
They loved it.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, they love those ghosts.
But it was great because we actually wrote a script and handed it to you, and then we played it through.
Yeah.
I know we're going to talk about this live show, but man, that was so much fun. That fucking
Sure.
Christmas Carol thing was fun, and we kind of repeated it when we did Chuck and Brad's Halloween, the original Halloween movie, and when Ray played Michael Myers.
It's going to sound like I have a bias because I was involved in the creative part of this one.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like that, but I do think this was the best live segment things that we've done.
I think
Together.
it's tough because the Christmas Carol one was like
It was really fun.
It was
Yeah.
it was so tight, and
Yeah.
it was but that's one of those perfect storm situations.
Right.
I think maybe overall, this one that we just saw,
I'm thinking of like the in between stuff, not the main thing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's
I
tough.
know what you
like
mean.
those were really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, and at this point, everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like that whole slideshow of Brad's Ambien problems.
So yeah,
It's terrific.
So the big thing that changed this time was that, Brad and I go back and forth about
some of our bits in the past that we've done have been a little bit closer to like improv-y stuff, and some of them have been like completely scripted. You know, whenever we do a big prank, we have the elements of the prank, and that's usually improv-y, where we just kind of make up everything in between that because we have the structure. And then when it's an actual sketch, we usually have like a script. But this one, the way the three of us came at it, that we kind of decided on pretty early on, was like, we're just going to have a concept for each segment. We had 3 segments, obviously. And then we're just going to kind of riff about that, which is interesting because when we did the opening segment, which was the presidential, when Brad first comes out as Abraham Lincoln, and we're like, the gimmick is just that Brad wants to do this presidential thing, and he keeps pulling the rug out from under us as we try to keep like giving ourselves facts about ourselves, and he's using it as a way to give facts about Lincoln. And then the ending has to be that we think we finally got him, but he just pulls the rug out again, and we go on to the next thing, which is, I think, really good for like an intro sketch. But it was really fun. I will say, like, going into it, I was a little bit more nervous that we had so little scripted.
I was not. I
Really?
think I've been more nervous at other shows where it was important to make sure I remembered all my lines.
Yeah, because if you fuck one thing up, it can train wreck the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think for myself, that's how I work. It's just free form. The stuff I used to do with like Derek Furtado, we did live show stuff quite a bit. Even sometimes we were like these characters, Ginny and Barb back in the day. That kind of stuff was always very similar to what we worked with here, where it's like, here's the overall concept. We know where we need to get to. And here are these beats.
The four different steps.
Yeah, the
or
little
whatever it
beats
is.
that are basically the stepping stones to the big thing. And that way, if things wiggle, we know how to get back to the thing, how to get to the next part. Because I remember when you guys were starting doing the live show stuff, it was like really, really scripted.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember at one point you guys had clipboards with the scripts.
That was for something really specific. Yeah, we did
and
have clipboards for sure.
My feedback every time was like, go off book, get away from that stuff, play, do the thing. And so it was exciting to see a little bit more of that in this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was interesting because my thing is always like, I'm basically, for the most part, like a filmmaker. So it's like I really like think about planning and structure and all that stuff. So that's where I gravitate towards. And I love the medium of podcasting, and I'm really proud of Funbearable and how funny it is. But I just feel like in a podcast like this, like where it's just like every podcast that's in a room with just people by themselves with no audience, there's so much more room for runway. Where it's like, when you're live on stage at a comedy club, for me, it feels like, all right, 15 seconds have gone by. You need a laugh. And that's kind of where I'm like, oh, we got to find that every single time, even though we have the big punch of Brad giving a Lincoln fact or pulling the rug out. The idea of finding that the whole time, I was a little bit nervous about.
And it's so weird because for me, I'm like, but that's where you live, right?
I know.
But that's my background. It makes total sense if you think about our individual backgrounds.
Exactly.
Stand-up comic who likes to riff, fully comfortable playing in that space. You have improv. You're an improv guy. You have that. You're fully open to just being out there doing the thing. You know what I mean? It makes sense where you'd be like, that does not feel comfortable to me.
Well, it's funny because I was spent so many years on stage with my band.
Yeah,
and we had
that's different.
Well, we had a reputation of being like the funny band.
Yeah.
However, you're basically playing a song for 3 to 4 minutes,
right?
Or 3 to 5 minutes, whatever.
Do a little
it is.
bit of banter,
and then you do 30 to 60 seconds of the joking stuff, and then you go back into it. And that's kind of like that's even similar to the podcast stuff. I think a little bit.
There was that period of time though where you were doing the thing where you took more time, where you would bring out the big hammer and you were smashing. It wasn't watermelon because I think legally you couldn't.
Yes, we will.
What
get
were
sued.
you smashing? I think it was a vegetable.
It was actually a pig carcass.
Oh,
I told people it was a vegetable because I thought that might turn off some people.
You painted it green.
We painted it green.
So it was like a pigamelon.
Yeah, that's what I called it.
Pigamelon.
And then he was like, when he got in trouble with like the Board of Health, he's like, no, this is like free speech. It's
I had to prove it was watermelon and eat a whole one in front of them.
Oh,
that's why I was in the hospital 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then there was that year that you did that bar mitzvah.
Rough show.
The face was scared.
Show.
But yeah, so I was like, oh man, I'm like, this is pretty loose. And I will say this, like, first of all, I'm really happy with how we played on stage.
Yeah, sure, it was fun.
I think we all got our roles and we all picked our points, and like there wasn't talking over each other, which is kind of a weird thing that you worry about because
there's 3 of us.
with improv, it almost feels like you're setting up characters and you're setting up moments, so there's a little bit more built-in story that you guys know how to take turns. But when a lot of it is banter and conversational, it's a little bit more ambiguous of where to pick your spots and where to jump in. But I was really, really happy with how everything worked on stage. Yeah. And man, I did love the Ambien concept.
Yeah, that's fun.
Which I don't even remember exactly. I think you came up with it at first, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like, I don't remember exactly. I know we came up with the presidential thing early, where it was like Brad's going to be dedicated to making this a President's Day show. And
I love the idea of him having a different costume every time he came up. It was so good.
And it's funny because that's an evolution too from some of the Chuck and Brad stuff, because we did a live show with Ray a long time ago, and it was Chuck and Brad's Halloween Spooktacular 3, I believe, where we did Monster Mash, the movie, for the first time on stage. And it starts with Brad coming out in full safety gear,
Oh,
the gloves,
right, yeah.
and the hat and the goggles, and he's like, "We're gonna close the show tonight with
A lecture about Halloween safety.
about trick or treating safety," and that direction for the character of Brad, of being so inept and so like blind to what's actually entertaining, while we kind of have to deal with that, is so fucking funny.
I mean, a different show was our Halloween, where I was going to read a heartfelt essay about the loss of my grandfather, and we had, it was a bit
the
of
doorbell.
a doorbell.
Yeah.
And that bit is fucking solid.
And again, the idea that this guy thinks a comedy club is appropriate to do any of this stuff is such a fun character choice.
I'm just realizing it's a reverse Michael Scott.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's about ineptitude, but in a different direction.
Yeah.
The inability to read the room and like selfishly being like, I want to do this, regardless of whether or not it's appropriate for this occasion.
Yeah.
Michael Scott is like, here's the serious work time. I want to do fun goofs.
Yeah, and be slightly offensive.
Yeah, and Brad Rohr, character Brad,
Comedy club.
this is fun and games time. No, I want to do some work.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
that I gotta say, actually, that bit was great too. We did a bit where basically what it was that we came out and we said we wanted this to really feel like Halloween. So we had a bowl of candy on stage and we passed around a wireless doorbell, and people could ring it if they wanted candy.
Yeah.
And then as we did that, then Brad is like, I want to read this heartfelt poem I wrote about my grandfather dying.
Yep.
And the bell kept ringing as he was doing it, and you were getting madder and madder, and eventually you stomp on the candy and throw it, and you storm off stage. And then I revealed that I had another doorbell and I was doing it the whole time.
Yep.
That was a solid open.
That's a great bit.
A good bit.
Yeah, that's fun.
But I do love, that your character doing that is so good.
Well, and so that leads to the ambient bit where it's, I want to do presidential trivia, which I like, no joke. I love knowing things. And in like, let's say 4th grade, I got a book from the book fair that was like facts and fun about the presidents.
Yeah.
And I would just read it over and over and over again.
Wow, that's fucking insane.
What you just said though,
I did that with Garfield.
I love knowing.
I like knowing things.
Is I believe it was I love
knowing things.
Yeah. Is like the defense for why you won't throw away your Guinness Book of World Records. Like as a 12-year-old, your mom's like, just get rid of the book, and you're like, but I love knowing things. Yeah.
No, it's a great aspect of your personality to play with, because I think so much of comedy, I always say this, I think so much of comedy is based on wrong-mindedness or bad ideas or someone bringing something wrong to the table. But the idea of doing that in the direction of intelligence is kind of unique. It's not something you see all the time. Like obviously,
not all the time. I do think it's definitely an aspect of there's that character version of the person who's like super by the book. Everything is like the anal retentive person is often a character. Yeah, I
agree, but I wonder how often it is like the ineptitude of presenting something like this in an environment like a comedy club. That's what's really fun.
Right. And so the idea of like, all right, well, I what do we want in terms of like which facts, and like really trying to, I was like, oh, let me Google Slides background President's Day. And putting the facts on there, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I don't want the facts to be boring, even though like it's funny. and so I was talking through it with Chuck, and he's like, yeah, do like presidential color, and I'm like, but I don't know that, and he's like, well, say
white,
Yes.
white,
It was-
white,
what was
white,
his favorite
white,
color?
Yeah, it was favorite
white,
color, and then
white,
he's like, say
white,
unknown,
white,
and I'm like,
white.
but it's probably recorded somewhere. They probably do know those favorite. I'm letting you get to 44.
Sounds
like a game of Pac-Man.
Sorry, I gotta check my email.
White.
I think we're past.
White. Black.
There you go.
White. Unknown.
Yes.
Well,
Sorry. Once I was in it, I had to keep going.
yeah.
I had
So
to keep
the
going.
idea of like
I'm so sorry.
putting like I don't want to say wrong facts in there, but I was like, but why would we do that? And Chuck's like, for the joke, you idiot.
You were too into the character.
I was
Yeah.
too much like, no, these have to be accurate.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the idea.
And so unknown, brown, unknown.
Well, it was funny because
born of that conversation.
yeah, we were talking about the idea of like obviously with comedy you want to heighten, and it's hard to heighten boring.
Yeah.
Like that's an
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
That's an interesting
Sure,
stumbling
yeah.
block. And so my idea for heightening boring
You know who you should have called? Lee Leshin.
from the mail sack episode.
From the mail sack episode.
That may not have aired
That
yet.
may not have aired yet, and now it sounds like just an insult. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. He has a really long email where he goes into incredible detail
Yeah.
about how he prepared a reheated dinner.
Yes.
If this hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really sorry. That was just a goof, Lee. Sorry about that.
No, the idea of like how do you heighten boring?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if it's facts, then the idea of not even presenting any facts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
yeah.
the presidential
That's
colors,
fun.
favorite
That's a good
colors,
swerve.
unknown,
Yeah.
and brown.
Brown.
I love that.
Yeah. The least attractive color.
Yeah.
But
Wait. I don't mean it like
Too late.
you just did that president's joke too.
No, I mean for like if you're picking like
Yeah.
colors for your wall,
Yeah.
you're not like, ooh, brown.
Yeah, we discussed beige versus brown. What would be funnier in that instance?
But I love the concept.
That's what I love about
Yeah.
comedy, by the way. The fact that you can have a real conversation
oh,
in a
of course.
situation of like beige versus brown, which one's funnier in this context?
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, it really was a thing where I think we were actually together physically. We were somewhere and we were like, how do you heighten boring?
In that
and
hot
we-
tub.
And we're like just typing, like, how do you heighten boring? Can it get more boring? And we were
Yeah.
trying to figure, because it is kind of a puzzle.
Right.
But the ambient
Boring.
thing-
Enhance. Enhance.
But the
I
ambient
just went to
thing
Brad's Facebook profile.
is so it's such a
Yeah,
great,
it's great.
It's almost like to me that's a deep enough well that we can kind of go to it again if we want to and do more ambient stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And for people who may not know, like I was prescribed Ambien. I normally would take half a pill, and there were a couple occasions that I took a whole pill and like stayed awake longer than I needed to and sent some bizarre text messages.
Yeah.
And and of course shared this with my friends who, definitely supported me by saying we need to make fun of this in front of people. And
I would do that with anybody.
I know.
Truly.
Of course.
Even
And-
myself.
Well, and so then it was like, oh, okay, well, let's say if Brad's going to do these fun facts that are going to bring down the show, let's show something that Brad doesn't want to see. What can that be? All right, well, that's Ambien, and then sitting down and discussing what kind of things did Brad do on Ambien, fake Brad do on Ambien, rather than like, oh, he sent 5 text messages over 2 nights that are really weird.
Yeah, no, it had to go to an absurd place.
yeah.
It has to.
I think we were wrestling with 2 places. It was the superhero thing that we did.
Yeah.
But what was the other one that we were kind of kicking around?
Hot dog eating contest.
Hot dog
he
eating
wins
contest.
the
Yeah.
Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, and
That's right.
and we talked about landing a plane.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, there were a couple other things that we didn't get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else, but yeah, there was some fun things.
It
but
was a lot of it was location based, where we wanted to keep it like in and around the apartment.
Yeah.
Right.
We had I think we ended up doing 4, and so it ended up being like the first one was
Just getting a
pretty
drink of
normal
water.
stuff to
Yeah.
establish. Then the next one was pretty kooky stuff in his house.
cooking the hot dogs.
Yeah.
Shoveling my laundry.
Shoving the
Yep.
laundry. And then it was let's have him leave the house, and he did the DoorDash thing.
Yeah.
And then the superhero thing.
Right.
I think there were 5 because there was also calling the bookie.
Oh, calling
Yeah,
the
and
book
the
in and the
gun.
gun. Yeah. It's funny.
I'm sorry, but I love
this was what I threw out when we were going about this stuff, and it is one of those things of like that pet joke that you love, you know?
Oh.
Him with the gun in the mirror, you know, go ahead and make my day, all that stuff. What I loved so much was then coming back to the stage and you going, I don't even own a gun.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that idea. Yeah,
I love
great.
I love that too. And we were all filming it together in Brad's apartment that night. All that stuff we filmed at the same time.
Yeah.
And
it was weird to get, it was hard to get Ambi and Brad to do those things.
Yeah.
he's really uncontrollably
Yeah,
reckless.
but a lot of suggestive stuff before he fell asleep, and then we just had to hope that we would get it.
Yep.
And then it was funny because we were like in the mirror because we didn't really write that much. So we were like, all right, Brad, here's your gun. We're gonna just say stuff in the mirror, and we just had you riff.
Yep.
And when you said, "Are you feeling lucky, Chuck?" That killed me.
So fun.
That
yeah.
killed me. And also when you said because we didn't come up with the I'm gonna insult your ethnicity.
Oh my, yeah. Okay, what are you?
What are you?
Well, no, that doesn't work.
What do you guys do?
Yeah, what do you guys do? And then when you say that, no, that doesn't work.
No, everybody likes that.
Yeah. It's so fun.
That's such a great
Bravo.
joke. Yeah, that was
Bravissimo.
great.
It's fun.
And I really enjoyed the heightening of that because it's funny. It's like it's almost a bit that really works by itself, but it is a continuation of the beginning, right. You know, which is fun. And then right away in the writing process, we were like, all right, who are the most well-known presidents? We're like, he'll come out as Abe Lincoln first, then George Washington.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's the most? And we went with Trump right away, and that was kind of like an initial joke. And I was like, I'll probably back off this, but I think it was 100% the right direction.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And the idea of you being like, listen, we have to honor all the presidents, not just the ones we like, is so fucking funny.
That's great.
And then the idea of doing the dating game with you dressed as Trump. Oh, it's the layers were really good. I really think it worked well.
That makeup was on my face for like 3 days. And that's, I'm buying oil of Olay. I'm soaking my face. I've got a chemical peel. And it was there for a long time.
Oh, man.
It was great. And
the dating game.
I got to say, the dating game, it's funny because I was like, again, it's one of those things where it's like, we're just gonna pull up Doug Key, great guy, really funny guy.
Absolutely.
We're gonna pull him up. It's like we kind of just gotta hand him a script and tell him to go with it. And then we have to pull up a volunteer.
Yeah.
And we've done that a couple times, and it can go south. And it's like, it's tough when you pull up a random audience member.
But here's the magic of the structure of this. Like, that person really wasn't doing anything.
For sure.
All they had to do was read the question for each one.
Yeah.
That was it.
I'll say she did the right amount of ad-libbing.
Yes.
Which was
Yes.
more than 0, but less than 10.
And that's what it needed.
Yeah,
That's what it needed.
was-
and I don't think we gave
great.
much leeway for it to go anywhere else.
Right.
You know
I think
what
so
mean?
too.
Yeah.
And the bit of we're just going to answer these questions and outright say we all wrote each other's answers.
Yeah.
And we're going to deal with it.
It's terrific. And we could do that at any point. The thing I learned was less of them next time.
Yes.
Yeah, we
We
have
need
to
like
start,
5 or 6 questions.
Yeah, because you got to think it's like we're like, all right, 10 questions. That doesn't sound like a lot, but there's 3 of us answering, so it's 30 answers.
Yeah.
I will say, I was nervous. I was like, oh yeah, it's 30 answers. We're looking at everything, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a lot. It didn't end up feeling too long.
No, it went, and I think because it is just such a fun structure.
Yeah.
And it's easy, and it's something that people immediately understand, and they can go, okay. And there's no like real. You don't have to like follow a long path of stuff. It's just like, this is next one.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just a chance to like insult each other and do a little roast.
Oh, exactly.
And that's always going to win.
Oh yeah, especially, and it's that kind of thing where you just want to come up with the joke. And we came up with the joke immediately when it was like, what's your pet peeve? And you say the phrase "one size fits all."
Oh yeah,
and that's a good joke. I don't like going to fat jokes at all.
Yeah.
But I was like,
to me, that was a tall joke. But
I was like,
Brad.
Well, I was like, we have to make this not that. And so the follow-up line is about pool floaties. And the idea that that's why you're saying it is because you can't find pool floaties for an adult man. I'm like, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like the initial thing is good, and then the swerve is good.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that during it.
There's a bunch of stuff in there. I mean, it's that thing that we enjoy doing whenever we have to write stuff for each other.
Yep.
We all like, this little joke, little pet jokes, little pet jokes. You go,
and it feels like you're eating your favorite candy. Like when you had to say like, that you're like, I do all different types of comedy based on ethnicity, like all this, and you just keep doing racist stuff. And then you say, if your parents are white, they'll love me, and if they're not white, I'll just meet you at the restaurant. I love stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't remember any of them now.
Oh, dude, and I was glad the audience was on board with everything, because one of the things that I always think of with our shows that I kind of got used to really quick is like, no one's ready for the stuff that we're going to do because it's so out of the norm for what they see in this environment. So it's like, you got to make things pretty clear, but at the same time, you don't want to fucking hit them over the head with everything that we're doing in terms of the setup.
Yeah.
But it really felt like everyone was pretty much going with it. And I think that audience was a funny combination, because I did the morning radio, we did a ton of flyering, we did all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I think there was a lot of people there who had no idea what they were saying.
Yeah, and they really enjoyed it.
Which is great. I think that's positive. I think that that's really, really good to grab new people and pull them into that.
And I do have to point out in the dating game.
Yeah.
Because Brad won the dating game.
True.
And I think that's wonderful.
Thanks.
But I do want to just point out, for the sake of having facts on the record, for the history.
I love knowing things.
You love knowing things. And one of the things you know is the volunteer.
Yes.
Which we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know this, but Brad did.
Yep, she was a pal of mine.
Shenanigans Brad over here.
Well, Brad...
She was a plant, a ringer.
No, she wasn't a plant, because Brad texted...
She was a stooge.
We were backstage right beforehand, and we knew that our friend Michaela was in the audience, and that she would be down to do whatever, but we didn't want someone who would know us. So Brad's like, we should tell Michaela not to volunteer so we can get a stranger. So he didn't plan on it. It was just, that's the person that Doug
I think
picked.
he did. I think what he did with us was one thing. I think the whole thing with Michaela was to misdirect us. And then he used his stooge. He used a stooge.
Yeah, well, I mean, you won't find any written communication that confirms or denies anything, so...
Because you killed all those homing pigeons?
Yes.
Yeah. No one will ever know.
1, 2, 3.
How many homing pigeons?
Yeah, sent a lot of messages back and forth.
But yeah,
it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 would do again. I enjoyed.
Yeah, we just have to celebrate other like American holidays where I can tell more facts. About the country.
Thought we would do like Boxing Day, and Bastille Day.
Yeah. Yes, just European holidays.
Yeah, and Canadian.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta say, I really love the idea of having a big video element for something in the show.
Yeah.
To me, having that that superhero thing.
Yeah.
Especially because that one was like, one of my favorite things is manipulating existing footage.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of our friends watched it and said, "Wow, the suit came out great."
They thought we shot it. They thought we shot it. It was obviously, in case the audience doesn't know, it was existing footage from a news broadcast somewhere, and we just had Brad do voiceover for it.
And by the way, I think we should dedicate this episode to the memory of whoever that superhero was in that news thing, because they're fucking dead
for sure.
They're dead and in the ground.
Yeah.
I do love the idea of those vigilante people that every once in a while will pop up in the news.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was like this. There was another dude that was like.
There was a guy on. He went on Comic Book Men. The most famous one.
Yeah.
Went on Comic Book Men.
Yeah, like
and then he did something bad.
Yes.
I don't remember what it was. Though.
Neither do I. I think, was it Fogelly?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Could have been. Who knows? But I like when these people pop up, because when it happens, it's like, yeah, I'm a hero. I'm going to stop stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Guardians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, okay, but this is the real world.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone might stab
somebody's
you.
like, ha, and then they're like, yeah, pop, pop, pop.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. I'm
Of
not
course.
rooting for that.
No.
But
It's
pretty wild.
No, I agree.
It's pretty wild. Like, do you think there is ever going to be, because we see these heroes pop up, do you think we will ever see a villain? Is a villain going to show up?
I think
that would be amazing.
I think there are people that kind of play act it, in the same way, where its tongue is firmly in cheek.
Yeah.
So I people's derangement knows no bounds. So yes, I think we will have somebody.
That's what it says on your dating profile.
I mean, that's That's my family crest.
It's written in your underwear.
It says man's derangement. Knows no bounds.
And yeah, I just want to make it more accessible. So yes, I think there will be a supervillain-esque plot done by somebody in a unique outfit that will be legitimately bad. At some point in the near future.
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't like how firm you are on this. Like you have a date.
It could be in the next couple weeks after this episode comes out. Perhaps just I don't know. I was going to do a thing, and I'm like, oh no, I feel like that's bad.
I think if something happens, we know who maybe did it.
Not Night Brad.
Yeah, Night Brad.
Oh yeah. By the way, the name Night Brad.
Night Brad for sure has a theme song. Yeah. You know what I mean? Night Brad.
Sometimes we do stuff on the podcast, and I'm like, this has to become part of the future of the podcast, and Night Brad for sure fits into that.
In Funbearable,
yes,
Night Brad is
our protector.
Is the Batman?
He's also, of course. He's also the oppressor.
And because Day Brad knows, you know, this is a situation where if something happens, he instead of being like Superman, like I gotta go, reveal, right?
Yeah.
It would be like, oh, I gotta go, and then it's him going,
well,
taking an Ambien and going, all right.
Come on.
All right, I'm gonna get him now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's funny too, because like ever since I was a kid, I know it's kind of base, but I do love the idea of a drunk character, and sometimes they're super funny. And Brad killed it as basically a drunk character, but it's Ambien. But you've done that before, and I can't remember what it was where you do the like. I know you've done that before, but I will say Night Brad claims in the video that Brad doesn't know about him.
Yeah. That's right.
He says no one knows my secret identity,
but it's been
Brad
revealed
Moore,
now.
And he is my secret identity.
Yeah, that's great. But no, it's been revealed now in the story of what's happening.
Oh, because he knows on stage. You're right. The continuity.
Also, the idea of we were like, oh, let's record some like grunting sounds for interstitials.
My favorite.
And there's like a 4-minute.
I don't even like the words that you say. Like the word, they're funny. Like ow, my ankle or whatever. But just hearing you going.
There's like
That's
a 4-minute cut. Like Chuck's like, you forgot to do the ows. That was what he said to me over the phone, so I had to go back. He's like, yeah, just go out on the deck and do a bunch of ows. And so like 3 or 4 minutes, I was out there doing all that stuff.
I think
and then you mishear it, and you're like,
you know what I think would be fun for the audience? At the end of this, we include the 4-minute unedited take of his ows. What do you think?
Only if we lay
fun for the audience.
A soft core pornography film over it. Softcore.
Ow! I really think it should we'll do the Funbearable ending and it'll close and stuff and it'll end and then it'll just be a black screen and just his unedited ows. I think that's
going to be very confusing for a lot of people, but okay.
We're setting it up.
I think it's great for people that leave it running.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say no one's going to be like, I'm just going to fast forward this episode to the final 4 minutes and not get the context.
I walked by
I had a lot of people do that.
I walked by Jason's cubicle and there was some weird stuff coming out.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
My ankle. Bad idea. I love bad idea.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I just had a lot of fun. James Firth was awesome.
Yes.
Doug Key was great. It was great.
Always appreciated.
The volunteer.
Marguerite was the volunteer.
Marguerite, that's right. She was great.
Marguerite.
And I really liked it.
And how do you know each other again?
Church.
Yep.
I think
collusion.
I think that the
through the Holy Spirit
shenanigans.
I'm just really happy that the banter and riffing translated so well onto the stage because, like I said, in here we can have runway, and on stage I feel like we can't. It has to be it really has to be. I almost feel like every third line there has to be a punch.
And I don't know. I see that. I'm like, yeah, great. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It should be that. It is interesting though to just kind of. Well, it's funny. Even in the green room beforehand, we're going on stage and we're like. Okay, the first thing is going to be Brad saying that Abraham Lincoln's favorite, where Abraham Lincoln was born is this. And so we were discussing, should we have any comedy with us saying where we were from?
Yeah.
Or should this just be set up for that punch?
One joke per joke.
And we were just like, yeah, that has to be set up for that. But on stage, kind of just going into that and being like, all right, we got to step back for this. The spotlight should be on this. There shouldn't be a punch about this yet, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting thing to play with 3 people on stage.
Sure.
I think that's a little bit of where it comes from for me.
I love it. It's always fun.
I also love the idea of switching who the dumb person is.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Because
yeah,
in this
yeah.
one, it was more Brad for the majority of the show, not for the ending bit, obviously. And obviously, like, you win the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You win the first thing. Like, you get it over on me and Ray.
Yeah.
But that's a fun thing to play with too. And it's just, I'm more comfortable usually like planning that out a little bit more. But
Yeah.
but I was really happy with the way everything worked.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
It was a fun show, and I'm glad that people who couldn't be here in person were able to see it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Now it lives on the internet forever, no matter what we do. Even if we have to delete it later, it's out there still.
Yes.
We're canceled.
But yeah, I'd love.
There's going to be an ambient thing, and then we're going to be like, "Wow, this is super insensitive." We can't have
Yeah,
this out.
exactly.
You
Someone's
know,
gonna,
yeah.
someone's gonna die.
One of the vigilantes is going to die.
And they're gonna find out there's ambient in his blood.
Yeah. Look what these fucking assholes did.
Cancel
And it's like,
culture.
whoa, we did it 6 months before we found out that the guy died.
Yeah.
Okay, he died on the same night that we did it, but we didn't know.
Okay, and we caused his death
We were
directly.
part of his death. We sold him the
Fine.
Ambien.
Sorry. Jeez. That's the big apology. Jeez.
It's fine. Sorry, geez.
Yeah, fine. Sorry, jeez.
We're being so dramatic.
It's time for those 3 magic words. Fine. Sorry. Jeez.
But yeah, the next time we do one,
Yeah.
I hope we do another video thing.
And I hope next time it is free of religious shenanigans happening.
I make no promises.
Church buddies
Some
coming
would
in
say
and
it's
mysteriously being selected.
divine intervention.
Okay. Maybe.
Brat to God, Brat to God. That's from The Simpsons, though.
Come in, God.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a great time. It was really, really fun.
I
I'm
enjoyed
glad
it.
we did it.
So,
yeah.
folks out there, thank you so much for watching and listening. Enjoy what will be some odd sounds coming from this.
And if you've been waiting to say, finish off your own enjoyment,
Nope.
perhaps with this blank screen
Yes.
that's about to happen.
I will say this, and I'll try to make this very ambiguous. If you're a woman listener or a gay man and you would like to have sex with Brad, please masturbate.
It could be anybody. You
And-
could have just said anybody who wants to have sex with Brad.
Please
Nobody-
masturbate and think about these moans
Don't.
and use them to come to climax.
Oh, my knee.
That was so vague.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you just said.
Don't do that, please.
If you do, send us some
No,
sounds back.
don't. No,
Oh,
don't.
no,
No,
I
no,
want
no,
those.
no, 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 no,
I don't want that.
no,
You
no,
owe
no,
some
no,
sounds.
I don't want the sounds back.
No, you
'Cause then
don't.
we're going to get stuff that's like,
Keep your sounds.
it's like, what was that? Is that a werewolf transitioning?
Keep your sounds. Well, thank you all so much for watching and or listening. We appreciate it.
This is such an insensitive question.
Please.
But I said werewolf transitioning.
I had thought about the same thing as you.
If a
did.
human person transitioned to the gender in which they felt comfortable,
well said.
when they transitioned as a wolf
Yes.
into werewolf, would werewolf also have a new gender identity?
I believe so.
Yes.
Fascinating.
It's 2024, right?
This is fascinating. to me.
I don't know if I've ever seen a woman werewolf. It just doesn't seem like it comes up that much. Can you
I've
think
seen
of one?
I've seen a woman werewolf.
Yeah.
Not in person, but in stories.
Yeah.
In the show that I absolutely
Oh,
loved.
I did see one.
Where?
Anna Paquin in Trick or Treat. Is
Okay.
that right?
I think so.
I think she turns into a werewolf.
The television show Being Human from the BBC was it sounds like a sitcom, but it's not. A ghost, a werewolf, and a vampire living together in a flat in London. And it was very, very good.
Yeah.
The ghost and the vampire, the vampire and the werewolf become friends.
Right, of course.
And even though those two things are fighting factions, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the vampire is like, I don't eat people. I don't drink blood anymore. I'm not gonna kill anymore, and leaves. And he was like one of the top vampires.
Okay.
So he fucks off and leaves that like life. You know, it's like an evil group.
Yeah.
And that's how he befriends this werewolf. They move into a house. The house is haunted with the ghost. It's this girl, right? So it's the whole thing. It's cool. I like the paranormal stuff in it. It worked really, really well. Some really fun stuff in there. Unfortunately, it fell off the rails. Like season 3, like one of the leads left the show. The writers changed. It got weird.
Yeah.
And they started doing flash forward stuff to an apocalypse. It was bad. But anyway, in the show, the werewolf, he accidentally does a scratch as a werewolf to his lady love.
Oh, no.
She becomes werewolf.
Yep.
So there's a whole storyline with that stuff.
Yep.
And it was interesting and good. So if you like this kind of the stuff, watch Being Human, and then after the end of the second season, turn it off and go, it's a shame they didn't make more.
There you go.
Even though they did.
Yep.
I understand.
Well, folks out there, if you want to check us out, Funbearable Pod on social media, funbearablepod@gmail.com. Through electronic mail.
Good fact.
Yeah.
But for Ray Harrington and Chuck Staten, I'm Brad Brewer saying thank you so much, and we're sorry for being Funbearable.
Now enjoy Brad's orgasms.
No, that's not what it was.
And before we get to it, really quick, I do want to bring this up. One last thing. I hate to do this. I didn't say anything earlier, but now I'm putting the pieces together. I saw you slip Marguerite a clean $50 bill, crisp.
Yeah,
50.
I owed her money.
I remember
In
seeing
her
it from
hand.
afar, and he did that thing where he's like,
Yeah, he did the
Yeah, it was.
with the bill.
It
And
was.
then he flicked it, but then he folded it in such a way and then put it in his palm like a magician and then did the handshake to give it to her like a cool tip.
No,
You know what
I
I saw him
can
do?
I can see where you're understand. It was from the offering that morning.
But
Church offering.
And why were you looking around and then you pointed at Chuck and I like, those two over there, right?
What I saw was
Don't tell them.
behind the comedy connection.
Yeah.
He had her by the lapel. really
yeah.
pointing and screaming.
That
Yeah.
was about a Bible study thing.
There was after the show. I do remember
okay, there's
you
more.
went to the trunk of your car.
Yeah.
You opened it and released her niece from the back of the car.
All right. That one was she was possessed with a demon.
I did hear
The trunk was also full of holy water.
he was pretty far away. I did hear, and if you tell anybody,
Yeah,
but I didn't hear much after that.
Yeah. She didn't run away. She had
Scripture.
like really thick rope, like wound around her body
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
cartoon.
How are you going to?
And when she
subdue
ran,
it?
it did go.
I did see a picture in Brad's phone of her on a railroad track. And
Yeah.
Brad twisting his mustache.
Yeah. And then it was a text, right? And at the bottom it said, "Stick to the plan, bitch." And it was so weird.
It was a typo.
Oh, okay.
Autocorrect.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was supposed to say, "For by grace are ye saved through faith."
Huh. That is interesting.
Yeah, it really was.
And I remember reading in one of the local papers,
I wish you would have brought this up.
it said,
Before now.
ominous man seen threateningly punching his own hand at church service. That's what it said.
Before comedy show.
Yeah,
No,
and it was doing this.
No, here's what the communion wafers were all stuck together. And I was like, I gotta break these things up. One wafer. I gotta make sure we can all do communion.
Of painting you in a corner and you have to get out of it with church stuff. It's so funny.
This now does explain when Marguerite came to the stage
Yep.
and you shook her hand, she winced very hard, like you were crushing her fingers.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the stigmata.
And you didn't look at her. And right before she said your name at the end for who she would go on the date with, I do remember you looking over and just the subtlest little shake of the head, eyes wide, and you're mouthing Brad.
That happened, but it was pleading in my eyes.
Yeah, it was more.
Oh, it was a
desperation.
plead. It was a
Yes.
plead.
Yeah, it was a plead. It wasn't a threat.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of things. We saw a lot of things. We should have connected because you saw a lot of stuff
I
and
know.
I saw a lot
I
of
wish
stuff, but
we
then we
did.
didn't put the pieces
Yeah,
together.
Well, there were
Right.
no pieces to put together. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
right.
Huh.
The only pieces to go together would add up to Brad being an avid churchgoer, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Those
And a
are all
bad
the
Uber
pieces.
driver for nieces.
Yes.
That's when you tap out. You're like, I can't do this anymore.
Well, I was, enjoy,
Won't someone think of the nieces?
enjoy my grunts.
Ouch. Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh, let me leave a little more time in between. I'll start over now. Ouch. Oh. Eh. Each. Oh. Ah. Eh. Oh. Eh. Ugh. Ah. My. Ouch. 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 F. No. Huh. Huh. Ow. Ouch. Ouch. Eh. Uff. Oh. Ooh. Ha. Woof. Ow. Ouch. Ouch. Eat. H. To teach. Quitty. G. T. Oh, heck. Oh, no. Oh, that smarts. Oh, that smarts. Oh, bad idea. Quah. Krav Maga. Shorts. Ray. Hiya. Hey. Ouch.